My entire life has been trial and struggle. At a young age, I learned how to juggle, caring for an autistic brother, dealing with an unstable mother, whose needs and personalities changed at a whim. The only way I coped was with gin, or rum, or vodka, whatever was there. A drinking problem developed and most were unaware, because I could smile and pretend like nothing was wrong. Misery and woe were my two favorite songs. As I sunk deeper in sin, thoughts of suicide began to sink in. I started to think, what if my life came to a close? What if Jesus was a lie and he never arose? All those Bible stories I heard really meant nothing. I thought it was phony and the church was still bluffing. Till I got to a place where I had nothing to lose. I was backed in a corner and was forced to choose. Heaven or hell, it was up to me. God opened my eyes, now I can finally see. The truth in his word is the light of my life. It's better than anything, even a wife. So before you give up, please listen to this. Christ is the key to unending bliss.
So, it appears as though my brain has refused the ability to retain these words to memory. So we disagree to agree. And once again, I tell you that my brain somehow conceives the ability for me not to retain these words to memory. So I have to make things up. And not that I have to lie to you or anything like that, because everything that I say will be the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So my brain refuses to retain the ability to keep these words in my memory. So I have to make things up. Like, how is it that I can remember a movie that I seen 2 weeks ago, not remember any character inside of it, but I can remember that after watching the movie, I was speechless for 1 hour. And I couldn't say a thing. And every time I got ready to speak or stand on my feet, I got ready to have a tear flow from my eyes, and I couldn't hold back the tears. So I waited for my best friend to go upstairs, so my mind could go upstairs and try to remember what movie I just seen. And so that must be really difficult for somebody who tries to commit these words to memory, as I try to display to you my poetry. But poetry is not necessarily words that rhyme. It's not necessarily the way that you speak. It's not necessarily the way that you talk, the way that you walk, the way that you live. But it's how you breathe. So as I try to give you my poetry, my brain has this notion, conceived this ability that I cannot remember the lines to deliver this poetry. And I'm not even a poet because I don't write like one. I don't scribble and scratch on papers till 4 or 5 in the morning, but I can just stay up like one. And I'm not even a poet because I don't move my neck and my head and my body like another poet does. But I can write down my words in my mind and my heart and extend my love. And I'm not even a real poet, some would say, because my name don't ring eardrums like ringtones on cell phones. But I'm a poet in my heart. I'm a poet in my mind. I'm a poet in my body, my spirit, my soul. And each and every one of you can be a poet that we all love. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angela Lynette. I go by Love A Lynette on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. There's Artists Out Loud, and you should come out.
They stayed with their mother and their father, and they grew up happily. They didn't have the best of everything, but they grew up happily. Until one day, older sister, she messed around with someone and she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, father said, always, to the little sister, don't grow up to be like your big sister. She messed up her life. She's causing others strife. Don't grow up to be like your big sister. So what big sister would have in her head was that I might as well end up dead because everything that I do seems to be wrong, and no matter how far I go, no matter how long I struggle, I'm not going to be the diamond in my daddy's eye. And as little sister watched big sister grow, little sister had an idea that says, Big sister is an artist. I want to draw and paint like her. I want to paint butterflies in the sky for someone's love, and I want to be a musician. And in the back of big sister's mind is, you don't want to be like me. You'll always be on your bended knees, begging and praying and asking God to forgive you for sins you don't even know if you committed. And maybe big sister should be committed. Because after all, everything that big sister does is always wrong, like staying up all night long, and there must be something wrong, and she must be on drugs. So father takes the lock off the doors, and big sister has no other world to explore except to go to the bathroom, and that's where she writes at night, and that's where she writes her life right. And little sister knows. So little sister says, I got to go, I got to grow. I gotta write like big sister too. I gotta make my dreams come true. But at the same time that little sister's getting older, big sister's getting bolder. Little sister stepping up, big sister stepping down, wearing frowns on her face because she's never won the heart of her father like she did when she was little. All she hears in her mind is, don't be like big sister. She's messed up her life. She's causing us strife. Don't be like big sister. So years go by, and big sister puts on the show. She smiles everywhere she goes. And if anybody ever needed some help, big sister is there to help. Why? Because in the back of her mind, big sister is always having something she has to prove to everybody else, but never herself. Until little sister has a breakdown. And everybody comes around, well, who was there when big sister had a breakdown and nobody was ever there? So big sister saw little sister laid up in a bed, and she couldn't move, she couldn't talk, she couldn't prove anymore like she used to. And little sister became big sister's hero, because little sister would write words at night that would make butterflies come alive in the sky. So when little sister said, I've screwed up my life indeed. I grew up to be just like you, indeed. So as little sister lays in the hospital bed, big sister stands by her side, holds her hand and says, for all the times that I failed you and our father, I will be there for you. For all the times that I failed our mother, I will be there for you. For all the times that I never hugged you because I was afraid to hug you because father says that it's wrong to be doing all these different kinds of things in our household, and mother and father never hugged you. So right now I'm going to hug you. And even though you can't understand the words that come from my lips, big sister says, I'm here for you because I love you. And every time that you left out of the house, I was supposed to protect you. And I didn't. And maybe I was supposed to protect you from me, but I didn't. And so as big sister stands over little sister, she says, why can't we exchange places? I am the one that our family always put down. I am the one that never made it to the exact place that everybody wanted me to be. And little sister smiles, then begs, then pleads. She didn't beg with words, she begged with her eyes. She cried, she heard things in her mind. And when I tell you that depression is real, depression is something that you can feel. Because little sister saw big sister go through moments of depression where she wanted to take out her life. She wanted to cause her family less strife. But it was this point where even little sister couldn't talk. Little sister couldn't breathe without machines. Little sister couldn't walk. Now, even though big sister is now 40 and little sister is now 36, big sister looks at little sister and says, is she cursed? Is this because of my fits? So little sister and big sister share tears, and neither one has a language, but they understand one another. And this happens to be the deathbed of little sister. And as big sister wonders. So big sister prays, Lord, please don't take her life. She is my angel indeed, a friend in me. I need my little sister. Big sister is me. Little sister is her. Along the way back and forth, no one knew my hurt. They didn't know my pain, they didn't know my struggle, they didn't know my progress, or they didn't know my confessions. But all they knew was that big sister needed to be tough because big sister had to learn her lessons. So no one was there to wipe the tears from my eyes or to keep me alive and keep me from crying. But big sister knew that she had a job to do. Big sister had to pray, and that one day she would believe that God would take the pain away, not her sister. So one day, after many days, little sister gets well, and well, and well, and little sister begins to walk. And as little sister now, who is now big sister, takes her first step, she says, "I hate this." And big sister says, "You hate what?" She says, "I have to learn how to do things all over again. And I shouldn't have to because my mind is my friend and my mind knows what I'm supposed to be doing." And so big sister says, all you're doing is recreating your life. The life that I once had in strife and those memories that I can no longer hold with me, you now get a chance to walk again. And so little sister moves, take one step at a time, and little sister moves without holding on to dimes. She's reaching for dollars. She's making people holler, showing the hospital people that this is now a mystery that is now solved into a miracle. And so big sister is renewed because little sister is renewed. And the depression that both of them had, that they both could share, that one thing that could have took them out of here was that nobody understands me, nobody understands me, nobody cares, nobody's ever going to be there. But what we learned from each other was that we can be the best friend to each other, one another, but the bestest friend to ourselves.